I want Da Vinci my kicks. Audemars can't see when they tick. I'm at war, I might send a blitz. Kill 'em off, I feel like John Wick. Make me sick, so I need a hug.
Welcome back to You're Not Gonna Like This. This is part two, otherwise known as part B of episode 3 music. This time we're gonna tackle the R&B scene. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and speak my piece real fast. I'm a huge R&B fan. I listen to a lot of it. I listen to anything R&B. I try to give it a real chance because I'm a real mellow tone person. So I really like having a chill side of music all the time. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First thing first, we're gonna talk about who's really hot right now in the R&B scene. So first thing first, I'm gonna go ahead and name my boy PJ's favorite artist, one of his favorites, Chris Brown. Definitely just dropped the joint album with Young Thug. Everybody talking about the song "Go Crazy." Yeah, that song, that pun not intended, goes crazy. So. But yeah, hot right now for me personally though, Chris Brown definitely off of the joint album. And you can't forget Janae Aiko. He's definitely a beast. When I look at it here, I got Kalani because she just dropped her album. That joint was really good. I really enjoyed that. Can't forget Summer Walker, of course. She hasn't really dropped a lot of things since Over It, but she stayed pretty relevant with her singles, with Secret by 21 Savage, and she dropped a song with Chris Brown. I'm not getting the name, but they dropped a song with Chris Brown too as well. So, but her and her guys went to the track really making music, making a scene in the R&B world. Um, Six Black, I'm still excuse me, not Six Black. I'm gonna get that probably correct. Black, he dropped an EP recently. That was pretty decent. Um, but that's really it for me. That's all I think. I want to say Beyonce. Beyonce, she has been doing collaboration projects here and there. She hasn't really dropped anything solo wise. And then I know I'm in the DMV area. A lot of people get on my case that I didn't mention Brent Fayez. But with Brent, I've never been really an avid listener to Brent. I listen to Sonder Son here and there, but I've never really listened to Brent Fayez like that. That's it for me. What about you? Who do you think is the hottest out in the R&B scene?
Um, Hottest out right now, I'd say either Janae or Summer Walker, in my opinion. Chris Brown always gonna be hot, so I'm gonna leave him out the conversation. Like whenever he drops something, people gonna listen regardless. But right now, hottest out gotta be either Summer Walker or Janae, no question. Like Janae's album was fire, Summer Walker's album was fire. It's really 1-2 right there, I think. And then that's pretty much you got her, of course, and then honestly, down the list really don't even matter that much. Kalani just dropped some new stuff. That's pretty cool. But other than that, I mean, I can't really think of nobody else. Honestly, you could put Jacquees up there, but me personally, I'm not that much of a Jacquees fan. I just don't think he all that for real. But yeah, my top two, they go hand in hand. Got to be Janae and Summer for real, for real.
Why you definitely talking? So then, what's your album of the year then?
Album of the year. Well, since Summer Walker's Jane was last year, Janae's probably number one because Chilombo was one of them no skip albums in my opinion. You can listen to the whole thing. It's really like a vibe. Like if you like the vibe, listen to that Jane.
What if you got a close second?
Close second. I mean, to be completely honest, I don't really know who been dropping full albums. So I mean, I guess the only one that really could matter really is Kalani's new jank that she just dropped. But that's not better than Janae's. And man, I would put Chris Brown's jank up there, but his was sort of like a mix between rap and then R&B. You know how Chris Brown do. It's really like what he depend on dropping. So it's like what he feel on drop, what he feel like dropping. But so I said album of the year definitely Janae jank for sure. Chilombo was fire.
Yeah, for me, definitely album of the year, Rumble off rip. Yeah, like you said, that's one of those albums. No skips. I go to that album any day. Probably definitely my favorite track would either be one definitely is the one with Nas. I think it was called 10K. Yeah, 10K with Nas. That's my favorite song on the album. A close second would probably be either BS or One Way Street. Those two are really.
Nah, my favorite Jane off her album gotta be the little Happiness Over Everything with Miguel and Future. That Jane, I like that one. That's a
Yeah,
good song.
that's a good song too. That's a good song too. I ain't gonna lie. When my sister like she saw I listened to the album, she was shocked. She was like, "You listen to songs like Pussy Fairy on the Way?" I was like, "Bro, the song,
Hey, I like that. I like that song.
it is what it is. Like the ears are pleased with what they hear, so I can't argue with myself. Like it's like the hit. It is what it
I
is.
like Trigger too. That's a good song.
Yeah, like I feel like what people really must understand, like a lot of people they don't be really open when it comes to listening to R&B because they don't think they think it's kind of like not really masculine in a sense to most people, but like R&B is a vibe, man. Like R&B is kind of like when you hear like a rapper when he be rapping on like a soft, like a real emotional beat, that's like R&B time. So like if you really not a fan of R&B, like I encourage you to like understand how much R&B like really has an influence on the rap as well. Yeah, R&B is definitely a vibe, but nonetheless, seems like moving kind of fast. But uh, best artist personally for me is definitely like we'll keep it the same. Janae is elite, man. Like she's elite, and a lot of people obviously are definitely gonna think because she's bad that we're just saying that, but no, Janae is like she's really good. Like, there's no cap in that. Like she's really good. And if I had to choose two, I had to put her there because she hasn't dropped a project in a little while really, but she stays in the realm with the singles. Like her last one, "Comfortable," that was definitely a vibe for me. I listen to that song pretty frequently when I get a chance to. But, we have over like 2,000 songs in your whole library. It's hard to get to every song that you really enjoy. But what about you, Pete? What do you feel like is the best artist for you?
Um, for me, it's Summer Walker. Just cause I don't know the way like she sing and like the style of it it's kind of like she got London on the track doing her stuff, so it's kind of like that hip hop flavor with it, but it's R&B. It sounds she sound honestly she sound like the female Chris Brown. Keep it 100. Like the way her songs go, the way the beats sound, like it sound like some stuff that you know it could really go both ways in terms of genre. Like Janae, real like the little soft vibes, smoke a blunt, listen to her songs, and you'll just be chilling, the whole vibe thing. But Summer Walker is real like that's real R&B. You feel me? Like it could go either rap or you can go, you know what I mean. But Summer Walker for me, like
It's
that album,
versatile. It's real versatile.
that's Summer Walker's album. That joint, if it came out in 2020, I would definitely put it over Chilombo, no question. Because Summer Walker's album was fire. That joint was straight fire.
Yeah, a lot of people said they didn't like it. I was like, bro, how do you not like that? Like that. That joint had no skips. That's a no skips.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely no skips. So yeah, what about your close? You ain't got no close second. Well, I feel like you would say Janae, but am I
Close second.
wrong? Am I wrong about that?
Like I said, I'm throwing Chris Brown out of the conversation. So if Chris Brown's out the conversation, it's Janae close second. Like if Chris Brown's in the conversation, he's first, and then Summer Walker is second. But in terms of him not being in the conversation, it's Summer Walker than Janae.
Man, that's tough. That's real tough. I'm really shocked you said Summer Walker is the female version of Chris Brown.
Bruh, if you
That's
listen,
that's an interesting take. I
bruh,
gotta. What led you to actually say that though? Definitely, I
if
gotta.
if if you listen to like, bruh, like the way her songs sound remind me of how like 2012 fame Chris Brown be trying to sound on his joints. Like that jank, Like on her song, what's called Body, man, the way she was singing on that joint, I was like, man, she really out here like going crazy on that joint. And the beat sounds like really, really nice with it. So it's like, I don't know, I just got some vibes, like Chris Brown vibes off of her. Like she just sound like, she really like the female version of him. That's what it sounds like for real, for real.
So since we be talking about the Chris Brown vibe now, I gotta ask you, since you are a huge Chris Brown fan, what is your favorite, or in your opinion, your best Chris Brown album?
It's either, in my opinion, it's either exclusive from back in from way back in the day, or it's
That's
Fame,
2007 with
or
you.
it's either exclusive or it's Fame. It might be Fame because like Fame is when Chris Brown was like he had just gotten off the whole Rihanna thing. Like everybody was starting to like really like forgive him and stuff because he really came out with Fame and dropped some heat. Like all them songs, you can go back to the middle school dances and you listening and Look at Me Now. Like you can go back to all that. She Ain't You. All that stuff. You can go back and you just think of yourself listening to like playing, being in the whip with your parents and Deuces come on the radio. Like I'm saying, bro, it's like it's either that or it's exclusive. But exclusive is way, way back. Like that's back when we was in like was that elementary school?
Yeah, that's 2007.
That's elementary school.
But Fame is not middle school either, because that's 2008 or 2009. I want to say.
Nah, I thought Fame was like us in like sixth, seventh grade.
Nah, sixth, seventh grade was the 2012 album, the one with
Nah,
Turn Up
bro.
the Music.
Nah, bro. Fame was released in 2011, bro. So we was in sixth
Oh,
grade. Yeah, we was in sixth grade, bro.
oh,
I
so
know
when was the Turn Up the Music one released?
that was Fortune. That's in 2012.
So it was the
Yeah,
year after. I was like, I know it was
yeah,
another album that came out like very shortly.
yeah. Fortune was alright too. I just
Oh
think
yeah, nah.
I just think Fame was like that's when Chris Brown came. Like he literally got back in his bag with Fame. Like he wasn't really dropping nothing for real, and then he dropped Fame, and then it was like, oh yeah, that's Chris Brown back for real. Like he back for real.
For me though, my personal favorite album, or best of my is Fortune. I really enjoy Fortune. I can't all 14 songs. I'll play those all the way through, no questions. I love that. I really love that album. And don't get me wrong, Fame has an excellent album. Cause like you said, with the middle school vibes, you hearing your parents, you hearing the Deuces and the She Ain't You. But songs I feel like you didn't mention on that joint was Yeah, Three Times. That joint was hard. And then another personal favorite is BS. I love BS. That's my go-to right there on that album.
I also like I know many people don't really give this album a lot of credit or whatever, but the joint Royalty, the one he dropped in
Oh
2015.
yeah, the one with 2015.
It was either 2015 to 2016.
Is that the one with Liquor
Yeah,
and Picture Me Rolling?
yeah,
Yeah, Picture Me Rolling, my favorite song
yeah.
on that joint.
Picture Me Rolling is very hard. I fuck
Yeah,
with
I
Picture Me
go
Rolling.
that song go crazy. Nah, cause Grass is Greener was on Heartbreak was a full moon, right?
Yeah, Grass and Green is very tough, but that album was so long. Oh my gosh, it was so long. Like
That joint was
I'm
3 hours.
I'm a fan, but I couldn't even get through that. I couldn't even get through that album, bro.
When that album was so long, I remember when the album came out our freshman year, and I listened to it, and it's like I couldn't listen to it whole because I got to like song 10, and I was like, yo, no way, I can't do it. So the following day, the only way I could listen to that whole album and hear every song is I had to do some homework while doing it. That was the only way I was listening to that whole album because I couldn't sit there and just listen.
The thing about that album was it wasn't even like the whole top half was like all the hits, and then it just kind of died down. Like on Indigo, I think the top half is like where the hits are at, and then it dies down. It's like Heartbreak on a Full Moon. All them things was spread out, so you really had to find which songs you liked off that album, which kind of
Heartbreak on a Full Moon is definitely my favorite one on that album.
yeah,
Yeah,
that song.
that song is a vibe any time of the year.
I like the joint with what's it called? Summer Breeze. I like that one, and I like Tempo, the joint that they be playing at the
Yeah, I know what song you're talking about. Another favorite one I like is Sensei, the one with A.
Yeah,
It was an
yeah.
A1. Is it A1
A1,
or
yeah.
AI?
A1.
A1, yeah, that joint go that joint go hard. You know,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I be playing like since quarantine happened. You know, I really got into the 2K scene, and you know, like on my game, my name is Sensei Trey on there, and you know, I made a little mix. I made a little like a little view mixtapes with my clips on there with all the like the highlights on my player. And I ain't gonna lie, before I actually started the actual video, it was an intro at one point for the song, but I took it off because I was like, it really. I feel like it didn't fit because it didn't sound right. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite ones on the thing. But nah, but then when we look at Summer Walker, um, my favorite song on that album, Over It, tough decision. I'm not gonna say Playing Games because that's the single. That's not it. But I think it's but for me, probably my favorite one would probably be either one with Party Next Door. It just might be, yeah, it just might be with Party Next
Yeah, just
Door.
like
Or let me see, what's another one that I really I, I can't. I don't think it was Body. I think it's another. I think it's another song. I can't really. It's not. It's not really. It's not really coming to my. Oh, the one with Usher. That's what it
oh,
was.
come through.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, those two are my favorite on that album.
Yeah. I like my favorite's probably Body or it's probably that. Or I'll Kill You. I like those two.
Ah, dang, that's the one with Janae. How you go too? That's
Yeah.
probably that one. It was that one. It's another. It's the song after that.
It's the song after that is Nobody Else.
Yes, there it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, that's another. That's one. I don't know. Like you said, that album was no skips and all them songs definitely hit. Definitely. But then when we think about it, we gotta look at top 10 right now, of course. And I remember you said that you were gonna do top five because you said that you didn't have you didn't have like all the R&B artists that you really listen to. You couldn't really put together a whole 10. So I'm gonna let you go first. Go ahead and spew me your top five.
All right, number 5 I got Kalani because I mess with her. You know, she's beautiful, and then she got her nice little songs. You feel me? Yeah, I mean, with me, my thing with Kalani is it's like I don't really know. It's like some songs I like, some songs I don't. But she's definitely in my top 5 because I like a lot of her songs, and I also dislike a lot of her songs. You know, it is what it is. 4 I got her. She don't really drop a lot, but when she do drop something, it's like, okay, I see what you're doing. It's fire. Um,
She plays. She knows she went to Alicia Keys' school. She's constantly training like all the musical instruments, so she can really get down and play the
yeah,
piano and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, she's different. She's different for real.
Yeah, she said one of her biggest influences was Alicia Keys. I mean, you can definitely hear it in her music.
Number 3, I got Chris Brown.
Of course.
I don't got to say nothing about that. Number 2, I got Summer, and then number 1, I got Janae for right now.
Okay,
Yep.
sounds good. It's really great. That's a really really good list. Any honorable mentions out there that you feel like you wanna shout
I mean,
out?
honorable mention, I'd say Black, Party Next Door,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
uh, Jacquees, I guess. I don't know. The thing with him is, I feel like he be biting off people too much. I don't really. I feel like Jacquees, he sound better whenever he, biting off somebody else. I feel like his own stuff ain't really like the best. That's just me though. A lot of people like Jacquees. I just don't think he all that, in my opinion.
His last album, it was good, but it was not as good as his previous one, the No Validation. Now that was probably his best album he's ever put out. But his last one, it was alright. It wasn't as good as No Validation though.
I just feel like a lot of the things I be listening to from Jacquees is, it's like it has somebody else in it that makes it better than it actually is, in my opinion. But I mean, that's just me. I know a lot of people like him, so I ain't finna get too much into it for real. But yeah, he's an honorable mention for me.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and spew my list. I'm gonna start off with the honorable mentions. Brent Fayez, like I said earlier, I would want to put him higher because when I hear him, I know that he is better than an honorable mention in my eyes. But I haven't listened to really Brent Fires yet, so I'm gonna make sure that's a mission that I make to listen to more of him. Because I've heard some songs off Saunderson and I haven't listened to that whole album, but I feel like I need to go listen to that and listen to his new stuff as well, and his old stuff. Because I listen to any new art, I listen to the old, then the new. Because if you listen to the new, then the old, the sounds are completely different, and you might miss a really really good project by not listening to an artist's group. Another one is Party Next Door, obviously with his last album. Now on my best album of the year list, that's number three because that album was fire. Like the news, I'll jam that song all day. But my favorite song of the entire album is "Believe It" with him and Rihanna. I blast that joint. That joint made my summer 2020 vibes play. My 2020, yeah, summer 2020 playlist. We made that because when I made it, that's when we first went into quarantine. I had hopes that we was gonna actually have a summer, but that didn't go as planned. So, but I still got it. I might just God forbid nothing happens in 2021, we have a summer. But enough about that. I'm gonna go ahead and get to the 10. 10 is Beyonce. And I know the beehive out there is gonna be like, oh, why is Beyonce so low? But Beyonce hasn't come out with a solo project since Lemonade. If I'm wrong, sorry. But a lot of her last projects have been collaboration projects with one, obviously, with Lion King. Yeah, I remember that one. But she hasn't really been on the solo scene. She's been kind of like Rihanna, really. She's just been on her fashion with her Ivy Park line, and then just doing, little music touch-ups here and there, just focusing on her fashion. Number 9, go ahead with Bryson Tiller. Bryson's elite. You always been a force. Shout outs to him. He ain't making music right now because he's focusing on his family. You can't get mad at that. He got a fiance, he got a kid. I think he has a daughter. I think it's a daughter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's focusing on his family right now. But yeah, the second he get back to his music and get back on the studio, the next album, I got faith.
Man, he living his best life right now, man.
Exactly.
He
Got a
ain't even
wife.
tripping off the music.
But I'm not rushing it though. Like he can try, man. That man taking care of his family right now. Like
Hey, man,
he'll get back. He'll get
his
back to us.
his music sounded way better when he was heartbroken. Keep it 100. His music sound good now, but it sounded way better when he was over here heartbroken, trying to
But
find his love, trying to find the love of his life or whatever. He was out here dropping them hits.
but didn't True to Self come out before he found his fiance, or were they still dating?
I could not tell you. I like the album, but it won't Trap Soul. Trap Soul was when he was going through it. So I mean,
Oh yeah, Trap Song was when he was going through it.
Trap Soul that album is different.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'll play Exchange, Don't, any time of the day. Just let me get to it. That's on fire. Next, I'm gonna go with my boy Black. I'm sorry I mispronounced his name six like earlier. I'm gonna go with my boy Black. Uh, Black's always been a really good artist in my eyes. You know, like I said, his EP was decent. I do want to listen to more of Black because I don't listen to as much as I would like to. But I do have his last album that he came out with, and like I said in part A, that J. Cole's my favorite rapper, but Pretty Little Fears is a banger without. Personally, I feel like you can take J. Cole off that song, and Pretty Little Fears is still a banger because that song is just it's a masterpiece, really.
Yeah.
When I look at 7, I'm gonna put Jacquees out there. The soul proclaimed himself the king of R&B. I don't agree with that, but that's it is what it is. We can't change his mind on that part. His last album, like I said earlier, it really wasn't hitting like that. Besides Verify with Thug and Gunna, but won't really much on that album that I really really enjoyed. Be honest, but No Validation is probably my favorite album by him. He really got in his bag on No Validation. That was the one with 23 and Beauty Doesn't Cry. The No Validation, the song itself. Next, I'm gonna put Ella May. Now, I don't know, a lot of you might be shocked by Ella May because she hasn't dropped an album since 2018. But Ella May is just one of those artists that you be like, she she taking a hiatus right now, obviously. But like we said last week, like Peter said about Uzi, if she drops something right now, everybody be talking about it because she just that kind of artist. So when you got those kind of artists, you have to put them in the top 10 regardless because they still prominent no matter how far they fall. Um, Five, Kalani. Like Peter said, she is a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong, definitely is. And her last album, it was good until it wasn't. Really enjoyed that album. Um, Toxic is definitely one of my favorite songs. I can't think of the other song. Not Toxic. It's the single she came out with. Let me see. One second. I got it right. Cause that's that song to me that drum was fire. Where is that? It's either Everybody's Business. That was another one for me, and F and MU. That's the song I was trying to find. That was that was probably my favorite song on that entire album. Four, gotta go with her because her. I'm a huge fan of her. Got to shout out my sister. She definitely put me on with her because I didn't really listen to her like that. She really showed me album and all that great stuff, and I really listened to her because of that. And not to shout out that she like she is. She's truly classically trained. Like she can really like play like classical instruments like Alicia Keys out there. And when you got an artist that can put that kind of things into her music and perform it live the same way it sounds like it was recorded, that's that's a talent. That's a rare talent, man. That's a real rare talent. Three, I'm gonna go ahead and put out Summer Walker up there because Summer Walker, she's a beast. I hope she drops an album again because I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm in no rush because over it, I can listen to that album any time of the day, really, or any time of the year because that album is a true masterpiece. Like no skips, like we said earlier, and I ain't gotta say much more about that. Chris Brown, that kind of goes unnoticed. Not just to mention his duel with Young Thug, but it's Chris Brown, man. Chris Brown is the beast. He's been prominent for the last 15 years. Brother still can drop something anytime of the day or the week, and it'll be right at the top of the charts instantly. And one, Janae Aiko, she's a beast. Not because she's fine, even though she is, but she's just a beast. Chilombo is just not her only good project. Sativa, that's another great project. Like she's a really really good artist. Like she got tracks for days, man. Like Peter said earlier, it's like if you really want to vibe, you just want to like sit back, I guess roll up. That's the perfect artist to really do that too. But that's my really top 10. Another guy that I meant to say in my honorable mentions, well not honorable mentions, but another guy that I meant to say earlier, that is coming up and is kind of hot right now is I encourage y'all to go out and listen to Giveon. Giveon's a really good guy. He knows the song with Drake, 2:30 in the morning. Can't think of the name of the song, but that's him on that song, and I encourage you to listen to his debut album. Definitely some hits on that debut album. He goes crazy on those. I encourage y'all. But for those that did listen to that album, go ahead and spew up a couple of my favorites. The Beach, definitely. Besides Like I Want You, nah, that's a single. That song is great, but that's a single. I don't really be naming singles when I think of the best songs. And then the second one for me would be Heartbreak Anniversary. That joint goes crazy. I definitely enjoy those two songs. But that's my top 10.
That's solid top 10. You feel me? R&B not really like. I feel like R&B was really like my style back then because you had people like Lloyd was dropping back then. You had Usher dropping back then. You had Chris Brown was at his peak. Rihanna was at her peak. Like all those people back. R&B was really the genre back then, and we being completely honest.
Between 2005 and 2015.
You had people like Jasmine Sullivan was out. I
got like two songs by her. I ain't. I can't think of another song by her, but I know when I first got my little MP3 player, I listened to the song. I can't think of it. I can't think of it right now, but like that's one of the first I heard about Jasmine Sullivan. It was
And
like, I'm
you
going
even
stupid, I'm going stupid, I'm going round and round. That's the lyrics of the song. I can't think of the actual
you
song though.
you even had people like Keisha Cole and like all them people was out at that point. Like you had Carrie Hilson was hot. Mariah Carey was hot. All these people that was just like R&B was the joint back then, bro. Like
What? What? I don't. Hey, look, man. I don't care. I ain't gonna hold you. You know, with Carrie Hilson, I listened to like a couple of her tracks, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. Pretty Girl Rock, that joint is just a banger. Hey, man, it can talk about whatever it want to talk about. I don't care. That joint it just bang. It go crazy.
and
That
you
joint.
you had people like Neo back then was popping. Neo was hot back then. Like
Neo is elite,
Neo
bro.
was out here
Probably,
dropping. Neo was dropping hits back then, no question. Like
should I dare say top 10 male R&B all time? Neo, is he up there, or is that's another concept, another episode?
honestly, I would have to look at who's been dropping
And we
R&B.
had to. We might have to talk about that. We might talk about another episode past music
Yeah,
because
that might be a whole era episode. We got to touch base on the whole.
that might be a future series, and I
Yeah,
stay tuned for that one. Because with that joint, we have to definitely hit the thousands. But what everybody talks about besides the thousands, the 90s. You got to talk about the 90s. You have to. But that's probably a future thing. But that's kind of all we have for y'all on part B. Tune in. Part C is going to be in the link under the description. And in part C, we're going to talk about our thoughts of the XXL freshman list and our future predictions for both R&B and rap. And this is our signing off. Cole's PJ over there signing off as well. And thank y'all for watching and see y'all soon.